Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I'm sitting outside relaxing. My wife, she headed to the spa to get her pedicure. It was jet skiing yesterday, and the beach shoes scrubbing up against her toes took off her gel off two of her toes. So she getting a pedicure here, and a lot of people don't understand this, because if it's not your purpose, you really don't understand when you serve, and when every moment you looking to help somebody else, you're looking to inspire somebody else, you're looking to give some type of insight or wisdom to somebody else that you've gained about life. So even though I'm on vacation, this is not actually my vacation. I saw this and I wanted to come, and it was spur of the moment. My wife showed me this hotel like a month ago, and I booked it. But we went to Jamaica twice this summer, and we kind of do vacations throughout the year. A couple years ago, before the pandemic hit, if y'all remember, we did Europe for 6 weeks. For those of y'all who knew, you wouldn't remember that. And I wasn't on YouTube at that time in a real way. I was off of YouTube, and I just kind of was doing like one video a week. And I think that was 2019. We was in Europe for 6 weeks. My son did a soccer camp, and that's what started it off, because we had to go to Rome for 2 weeks for him to do the soccer camp. And then my wife just kind of parlayed that into seeing 20 cities and 8 countries. And that's just, what we started to do, because you get one life to live. I saw a couple of people, everybody always have something to say, in your life. People gonna have comments for you. People gonna have advice for you. People gonna have unsolicited advice. But you have to do what's best for you. If I turn the comments off on a video, that's because it's too many comments that's taken away from the message. And so somebody will come for this message. I want the message to reach who it's supposed to reach. But if they get distracted by the nonsense comments that have nothing to do with the video, then I'm gonna turn it off, and because it's my video and it's my message. And whether you're leaving a good comment or a bad comment, I don't need good comments either. I saw a quote a long time ago, I think it was by Mother Teresa, that said, praise nor criticism should change you. So even with the criticism, when people say, oh, don't acknowledge haters, don't address haters, but this is my life, and I'm passionate about my life. And so it's kind of like, a lot of times people don't think about this, but if you put it into perspective, it's like if you go to work and somebody come up to you and tell you, I really don't like your outfit. Every day you come to work, your outfits just rub me the wrong way. I'm tired of seeing your outfits. You come to work and they tell you, you're doing your job wrong. This is how you need to be doing your job. Let me show you how to do this. Let me tell you how to do this, because I'm tired of seeing you doing what you're doing. And I know that's your way, and I know it worked for you, but I'm gonna show you what worked for me. And you need to do it the way I do it. Are you gonna ignore that every day? Or are you gonna put them in their place? Are you gonna ignore that every day? Or are you gonna go talk to your boss about this person harassing you? So the same thing with, in my life, I started to look, because I would look at people and I would judge people, and I would have advice for, other people who ain't asked me for their advice, who didn't come to my page for advice. In my head, I would be, oh, don't do that. You make yourself look weak, addressing your haters. Make yourself look weak. But I didn't have a brand. I didn't have a personal brand. And then so I realized that as humans, we so selfish that we want people to do for us what we want them to do. We want basketball players to shut up and dribble. We want singers to just sing, just make music. We want, teachers just to teach. But we forget those are humans who have mental health to worry about, who have problems, who have hearts, who have feelings. And we forget that although them people do something for us, that's a human. And we can't tell another human how to live their life and what they need to do for their own mental health. And so for me, I address, people, and I address concerns because because I care. I could have like a don't care attitude and I don't care and I'm just going to offend everybody and just do what I want to do and not worry about what nobody say. And I've tried that, but it's not me. I'm a person who cares. And I don't want to leave anybody in the dark. I don't want to leave anybody, lead anybody astray and leave anybody in the dark. And I want people to understand. So even people who are miserable, people who are bitter, I care about those people. And the reason why is because my Savior cared about those people, died for those people. And so that's why I care. And so that's why I'd rather encourage somebody to say, look, how somebody else living their life and what somebody doing with their life and, should not affect your life. You can't let that get you down about your life. You can't get in your feelings and you can't operate from jealousy. You can't operate from insecurity. You can't operate from frustration, from fear, because you'll never get anywhere in life. You'll never succeed in life. You'll never be successful. You'll never go anywhere. You'll never do anything worth anything with your life if you don't stop operating from jealousy, if you don't stop operating from insecurity, if you don't stop operating from fear, if you don't evaluate where you're operating from and really think about that. People say, oh, Tony, a hater say, oh, Tony, you humble bragging. For one, that's an oxymoron. You can't humble brag. There's no such thing. And two, it's semantics. Because sharing something is not bragging. Bragging is to lift yourself up and put somebody else down. When you're showing something and you sharing a message to inspire somebody who is in a place that you once were in, that's not bragging. But what happens is we let our insecurity, we let our jealousy speak, we let our ignorance speak, we let our frustration speak, we let our pain speak. I saw one lady, she said, I'm officially unsubscribing because you're showing how great your life is at the worst time in the world. And for me, I'm just, I'm like, no matter what we going through, when I lose a family member, somebody else just brought their family member into the world. Am I supposed to get mad at this person for celebrating life because I'm experiencing death? No, because life happens in cycles. Everybody gets their time in the sun. Everybody gets their time in the shade. So I don't let somebody else, having a good time rain on my parade. Or if I'm going through, instead I look at that and I say, my time coming. And so really what it is a lot of times when you're doing good in your life, meaning when you're being positive, when you're living right, you're always gonna have people that are around you that were secretly jealous of you the whole time, that secretly didn't like you the whole time, and they looking for any reason to part ways. They're looking for any reason to leave. And that's humans. You're gonna notice that with quote-unquote friends, co-workers, people who, when you're doing certain things in your life, you live in a certain way, they say, oh, you did this, I'm not your friend no more, forget my number, I'm never talking to you again. And you like, really? What kind of friend are you if you'll cut me off over a misunderstanding, over a lack of communication? But it's the person never liked you to begin with. They was jealous of you, and a lot of people, they want to keep their enemies close. And so when you realize that, then you're able to understand that it's never a reflection of you. Even when you're not a good person, how a person treats you is a reflection of them. How they handle you is a reflection of them. And so for me, one thing you got to understand with me is when you see me, you know, I'm posting these videos. I said I wasn't gonna be on my phone, but then I realized I can't let this opportunity slip by. I can't take this in just for myself. Like, I could sit here and I could take this in, I could take in this view, but that'll be selfish of me, because I'm seeing something that somebody who supports me may only see through me, and by seeing it through me may motivate them to see it with their own eyes. And that's who I do it for. If you let this make you feel miserable, then you got to talk to God, because that's a personal problem. Because never ever will I say, hey, my life is amazing, your life sucks. Never ever will I say, hey, look up to me for the stuff I get to do or what I'm doing. Like, I'm not a gangster rapper, you know, who have to floss and flaunt for an image. 90% of my life you never see. And my sister showed me a quote one time that said my biggest flex is that I can flex more. It's like, I barely show anything. And I want you to do this test. I get 24 hours in a day. When you look at my footage from the Maldives, over the 8-day trip that I'm on with my wife, add up the minutes. And now you tell me, out of 200 hours, how much time did I actually give you? A lot of times people see it and they see it like, oh man, that's a lot. And that's because you don't know how to do it. So if you don't shoot videos, then you think it's a lot. But I'm literally sitting here in my downtime where all I got is time. And when you are serving, and when you are someone who teaches what life teaches you, that's what you do in your downtime. If you make music in your free time, you'll be making a beat right now. You'll be writing a song. If you're a painter, you will have your easel right here, and you would be painting this vision. You will be painting this. If you were a writer and you have a book to write, you would be writing your book right now. But me, in this season of my life, I'm a teacher. And for every step I take, it's a lesson that's learned. And when I learn that lesson, I teach that lesson, because I know somebody coming right behind me. And that's the purpose of my life. So what the Lord put on my heart is, Tony, it's somebody hanging in the balance. It's somebody who feel like giving up. It's somebody that I've called and they got a purpose, but they feel like they'll never make it. They feel like it's all work and no play. They feel like they'll never have true love. They feel like they'll never be happy. But what I've done through you, what I've done in you, I want to do in them. 99% of people won't get it. But I'm not worried about the 99 if I could reach the 1. Because the one person who is inspired to keep going, and whatever that may mean, however that may look, that person may change the world. So I realize I'm one person, and I reach about 10 million people a week with quotes, with videos, and the likes. So if I'm one person, I understand the power of one voice. So when I do something, it's never just about me and me living my purpose. It's about who I'm doing it for. It's about who instructed me to do it. And that's who I have to be obedient to. So that's why I don't change what I do for nobody. If I want to address a naysayer, I address a naysayer. Even Jesus asked, who did they say I am? And he was the greatest to ever live, walk this earth. And so that's how I look at it. I look at it like, Who am I not to be obedient? Who am I to change for spectators when I honestly have an audience of one? And I gotta make sure that I'm doing what I'm called to do. And so at the end of the day, I want you to understand that just like myself and everybody else, you see people a lot of times in public, people in the public eye, people with a following, people with a personal brand. We see a lot of people unravel. We see people commit suicide. We see people get addicted to drugs, get addicted to alcohol, get addicted to a promiscuous lifestyle. We see people never grow up, never change. And it's because of the pressure that they face. It's because of all the comments that everybody got to say. And everybody is projecting. People project from where they are. People who claim to be happy will still be a secret hater. People who are actually going through and miserable in their life, misery loves company in a lot of cases. There's some people who will be in a miserable time, and instead of bringing somebody else down with them, they just won't say anything. They continue to talk to God. But there's other people who could be going through a miserable time, and they want to make sure you have a miserable time too. They're just humans. So that's why you got to do what makes sense to you. You got to do what's best for you. You can't get caught up worrying about too many opinions. And you got to live. And so for me, when I process stuff and I express stuff like this, I realize I'm taking the weight off my shoulders, but I'm also helping somebody else who will end up going through the same thing I go through, or experiencing the same thing I experienced. And without this message, they maybe would have let it drown them. And so you got to operate authentically, and you got to be you, and you got to do you. And you can't worry about what everybody else say they would do. And I see a lot. I don't see everything, but I see a lot. When people write me and message me and stuff like that. But I'm still going to do what's best for me and my heart, my mind, my emotional well-being, my mental health, my wife, my kids, my family, my brand, my business, my life, my legacy, my lineage. I got to do what's best for me. And God always give you peace in your heart on what's best for you. A lot of times people won't understand that. And so, even like with me showing you this view, I'd rather you look at this view than look at me. Ain't nothing special about me, but there's something real special about this. And the thing about it is, I know I needed this. When I was in the climb, I'm still in the climb, but for me now, it's not really about climbing higher. People say, where you want to be? I'm there. I want to maintain. I want to be obedient. I want to remain humble and hungry, meaning I want to keep doing the work. I want to stay pure. I could go make money in multi-level marketing. I literally could make millions of dollars a month in multi-level marketing. I could take and use my ability to speak, my ability to reach people, and I could sell a product that may or may not help your life at all. I could sell tea. I could sell protein. I could sell bicycles. I could go and do anything. But for me, in my life right now, it's about purpose. And it's about helping you live a better life, a more balanced life. Helping you live a life that is pleasing unto He who called you. And so every moment, every opportunity to serve, I gotta take that, because tomorrow is not promised. I could be sitting here today and trying to take this in and be selfish and just do it for my eyes, but what is the benefit? What does it benefit me if only my eyes see it? if the message that I receive from God while looking at this water, if only I take it in and I don't share it with somebody else, what is the benefit? Because the goal is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if I want to see myself benefit, if I want to see myself grow, if I want to see myself be inspired, if I want to see myself live my purpose, then I got to want that for my neighbor. I got to want that for my neighbor. And some people are in a mental state that they allow other people's life to make them feel less about themselves, to make them feel worse about their life. But I'm here to tell you, you gotta grow beyond that. You gotta change your mindset. And instead of saying to yourself, my life sucks and I'm unhappy with my life, and this person's life is better than my life, you have to say to yourself, my time is coming. If it's possible for him, if it's possible for her, then it's possible for me. If God loved them, then I know he loves me. So let me figure out what I need to do in this process, where my heart needs to be, where my mind needs to be, what I need to be working on, what do I need to be doing. And I guarantee you, being negative, being jealous, being spiteful, I guarantee you that's not it. I guarantee you that's not the place to operate from if you want to go to another level in your life. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you you'll stay where you at. If you can't see different, if you can't see bigger, if you can't see better, if you can't talk to yourself, minister to yourself, speak life into yourself when nobody else will, I guarantee you, your life won't change for the better. But if you can shift, and I had to make this shift. I remember looking at certain speakers, looking at certain teachers, looking at certain quoters, looking at certain authors, and I remember being jealous. Why him and not me? I remember criticizing, critiquing, wanting to argue and debate. I remember wanting to attack their message. I remember wanting to make them look dumb, make them look bad. And then one day it hit me. Tony, where are you operating from? How can you go forward? And how can you produce purposefully if you're jealous, if you're insecure, if you're frustrated, if you're angry? How can you produce righteously if that's where you're operating from? How can anything change in your life if you can't be happy for somebody else in their season when you out of season? How can the season visit you? How can the season come upon you if you can't be happy for somebody else when the season is upon them? And that thing right there, that changed my life. So when I would see somebody where I wanted to be or doing what I wanted to do, I would say one day my day coming. One day it's going to be my time. And what I would do is I would pray for the person. And I would say, Lord, bless them. Give them peace. Give them poise. Give them prosperity. Help him to win in the darkness. Help him to stay on the straight and narrow. Because I can only imagine the test that he experiences at that level of exposure, at that level of money, at that level of greatness. Lord, make sure he has what he needs to win at that level. Because I need to see it done so that when I get there, I know it's possible. So I shifted from being jealous, from being spiteful, from being hateful, from being frustrated, from complaining and critiquing and criticizing other people's life and what other people are doing, from telling people what to do in their 24 hours. And I started to tell myself what to do with my own 24 hours. And that's when my life changed. And so now, I tell people what to do with their 24 hours in another way. Instead of in a jealous and spiteful and attacking way, now I speak it in truth, in love, in purpose, on purpose. So listen, when you're working for the one, you got to work. Remember the approach. His son. And they said, why you working on the Sabbath? And to make it plain, he say, listen, ain't no rest. I got to rest while I work. I got to work while I rest. My days are numbered. So for me, I'm trying to change the world one person at a time. I'm trying to touch one life at a time. I can't spend too much time slumbering. I can't spend too much time just living life. Even in the midst of living life, I still got to operate in my purpose. I still got to do what I'm called to do. And so, let me help you understand. I'll shoot this video in my downtime. From the waking hours, me and my wife get up 5 a.m. out here, go to bed 10 p.m. We're not going to be out and about and doing stuff for the entire 17 hours. 17 hours. From 5 to 12 is 7 hours. From 12 to 10 is 10 hours. 10 plus 7 is 17 hours. In 17 hours, our activities may take up 5 hours. 17 minus 5 is 12 hours. Just for the human body to relax and have something to do. You can't just rip and run all day long. So, to give you an idea, we went to breakfast this morning, and I recorded the bike ride, and I recorded up into the restaurant, and then I sat at the table, and I recorded the menu, and then I turned the video off, so that while we are eating, we could eat, and food could drip on our shirt, and down the side of our face if it need to, and that me and my wife could have unadulterated, unfiltered conversation, and the camera's not interrupting. Then we left there, we went into a boutique. After the boutique, we came home to the room, and we changed clothes into our bathing suit, and we rode to the beach shack. I filmed the bike ride to give a full island tour from our villa all the way to the beach shack, which is on the other side of the island, the hotel. The hotel is part of the island. Then when we got there, I filmed the water. Filmed a little bit of the water, and then I turned off the camera. Me and my wife were there for about maybe three hours. And by me not filming there, we were able to have unadulterated, unfiltered, real conversation. No camera involved. Then after that, we rolled back to the room. We came to the room, and we came outside where I am now, and we put our feet in the pool. We sat in the pool, feet in the pool. We sat out here for about an hour. Then my wife needed to go shower and get ready for the spa. And now she's at the spa getting her pedicure. So for the people who are so concerned about how I use my time and how I can find time to shoot a video and upload a video, that's how. I'm shooting a video while I'm riding. Me and my wife can't have a conversation while I'm riding the bike. I'm shooting a video while my wife was napping yesterday. The jet lag hit her hard. So I shot an hour-long video while she napped for about 2 hours. Because this is my purpose, serving. I'm shooting a video while my wife is at the spa getting her pedicure. That's what she wants to do. This is what I want to do. I could take a nap right now, but it might throw my body off. I don't have a book to write right now because I don't have a book assignment. I haven't started writing my next book. I don't have any other work to do for any clients because I'm not ghostwriting any clients' books right now. I don't need another business. I don't need another idea because I'm managing and maintaining and trying to grow the ones that I already have. So therefore, the only other thing that I have to do right now, because I don't want to sleep and I don't want to watch TV, is to share a message for somebody who's going to be in a position with a personal brand, trying to manage their life and live their purpose, trying to find balance in it all. People say balance don't exist, but balance does exist because balance is defined by you. If you say balance don't exist, then your life will always be chaos. But this is balance. Because what I'm doing right now is extremely peaceful to me. It's extremely fulfilling. But yet, for somebody who hears it, for the person, the right person, it's going to be a message that sits in their spirit that they can pull from when they need it. So I'm serving two purposes, and I'm catering to my wife by sending her to a spa appointment to get her pedicure for the two toenails that messed up while she was serving me, riding on a jet ski, because she know I love to do that. She could not care less about a jet ski, but she did it for me. So she did it for me and lost some of her gel off her toes, and then in return, I say, go to the spa. We'll spend that money because that's seen as good money for me. Because if your toes look good, you're gonna feel good. Let's do it. That's what I define as balance. And some people don't really realize that. So now when I finish this video, I'm gonna sit out here and I'm gonna continue to talk to the Lord and hear from the Lord. And I'm gonna wait on my wife to get back, and then we still have another few hours of nothing to do but look at each other, look at this out here. And if you notice, when she's with me, I'm not filming because that's our time to talk. When I film is when her and I can't talk. When I'm riding the bike, or when she's sleeping, or when she's gone. Pay close attention to that and understand we get 24 hours. So when I finish this video, because I have Wi-Fi, while I'm sitting and getting a download from the Lord, this video will be uploading. So that doesn't take any time for me because it does it on its own. And then when it's finished uploading, it then is published. All of that happens on its own. So what you have to realize when you see content creators on vacation, quote unquote, this is really a workcation because this is also content. Because this view is also producing great content. This time produces content to give to people. So when you work for one and in your purpose or for yourself or in your business, there's always an opportunity to serve, to give, to do. And that's what you have to realize. And so, while me and my wife are talking, when she gets back, videos from the GoPro can be uploaded. They could be transferred. So I'm able to do two things at once. So I was playing this for you, just so you know. And the reason why I turned off the comments on an hour-long video is because there were so many people video had only been up 22 minutes and the video was an hour long. And there were so many people commenting talking about, Tony, get back to your wife. And so if somebody comes to that video to receive a message, they're going to be distracted because they're going to be like, Tony taking time away from his wife on their vacation. Which, for one, this is not our official vacation. This is a vacation. But for two, in the video, I say my wife is sleeping. And so that's why I tell you how the devil works. He'll come and turn something good into something evil. He'll take something pure, something innocent, and he bring confusion. And he'll also use Christians to do it. He'll use people who of the same faith to sow confusion and discord, to take away the attention from the message, because it sends people down a rabbit hole. So now people will come to a message and they can't even hear the message because their brain sent down a rabbit hole by somebody who come to cause confusion. So sometimes what you do is you shut the confusion down. And see, somebody who understands that, somebody who makes videos, somebody who has a personal brand, somebody who is delivering a message will understand why when the pastor is preaching, they don't let other people in the congregation just stand up and start talking and ad-lib on the message and elaborate on the message, because it'll send people down a rabbit hole. It'll distract from the main message. So when you're operating from the wrong spirit, you'll come and say, Tony, turn the comments back on because I was going to put something positive. But in order for you to put something positive, that means 10 people got to put something negative. And your positive is not going to outweigh the negative. And the positive is not needed because I don't need an ego stroke and I don't need a pat on the back. So I need the message to be heard without distraction for those who it's intended for. That's what I need. So when you see the most important messages on my page, I turn the comments on. When you see the ones with the comments on, that's because although it's an important message, it still can go forth even with the distractions. But some things, you got to stand alone. But see, when you're operating from the wrong spirit, a lot of us, we want comments to be on because we want to see the negativity. We claim to be positive, but we want to see the negativity. See, when I see people turn their comments off on YouTube, I don't judge or criticize because now I understand. I understand they have mental health to protect. I understand that they have a life to live. I understand that the unsolicited opinions could affect their message, could affect their content, or could even affect their day, could affect their mentality, could affect their life. So I don't judge them. I don't criticize them for doing what they need to do for their life, for their purpose, for their mental health. I saw a gentleman the other day post a long message about considering turning off comments on the rest of his videos because of the very rude and nasty and mean comments that people are putting in the comment section. People who claim to be of his same faith. And I say, you know what, brother? I feel you. Not to that degree, because I don't have to deal with it in a very, extreme way. But I still have to deal with it. And for me, the message always going to be more important than what comments got to say. Because a lot of times the comments don't move the story forward. It's just a stream of conscience. And so that's another thing you have to ask yourself is, before you comment, like, is this productive? Is this even worth it? Like, is this a message that Tony needs to hear from me? Is this a message that somebody else needs? Am I operating from the wrong place? Am I operating from anger, from frustration, from fear, from insecurity, from jealousy, from bitterness? Like, where is this comment even coming from? you ask yourself that, if it's coming from love, if it's coming from peace, then okay. But even then, if it has to be foregone so that all the negative could be shut down, then you shouldn't have a problem with that. That ought to make common sense. But listen, I share that because the reason why I share that is because I have trained over 2,500 life coaches, and several of them are subscribed to my YouTube channel. And on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, there are almost 36,000 students in the academy, and several of them are subscribed to my YouTube channel. So when I share the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's for the people that it's for. If you're a casual, if you're just a spectator, if you're not in my ecosystem, like you haven't gotten a course on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, or you haven't, joined a group, the growth group, or what have you, you haven't, come to grow, then you won't understand why I do what I do and why I post. And for those of y'all wondering, YouTube does pay you. And I see some people, YouTube money, because they assume that everybody on YouTube is just a YouTuber. I actually just got serious about YouTube in 2019. I've been an author since 2007. So YouTube is not even 20% of my business. Although it may seem substantial, I have 1.8 million people on Facebook. There's only 300,000 on YouTube. I have over 900,000 people on Instagram. There's 300,000 on YouTube. And so I say that to say, don't get caught up in the hype and stop worrying about, we have to stop worrying about where other people's money come from. We have to stop worrying about what other people do. And I thank you to the young lady. I seen a comment. Somebody was like, YouTube money, huh? It's like, no. This was not YouTube money that paid for this trip. This was Tony Gaskins money from the 13 companies and over 50 streams of income that God has laid on my heart to create that paid for this trip. And I say that to say, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. And anybody who knows me and knows my business, my brand, and what I'm building, just the people who are even casual can see that I don't put all my eggs in one basket, that I find multiple ways to serve and to create. And I hope that inspires somebody to continue to expand your brand and to create, and don't just rely on social media for one thing, because that changes all the time. YouTube changed their algorithm all the time. If I depended on YouTube for a living, I'd be out of house and home, because they done changed their algorithm now drastically. I'm about to say dramatically and drastically. So you know what? Let's add that to my dictionary. Dramatically. That's a new word. Dramatically. It sounds good. We're gonna go with it. YouTube have changed their algorithm dramatically. And so I want you to understand that. And you see how I'm sitting out here talking? I'm a water guy. I love just the water, looking at the water, listening to the water. And so I look up, I done talked 45 minutes, and it feels like I've been talking 4 minutes. It feels like I've been talking 4 minutes, and I've been talking 45 minutes. That's what I'm here help you understand. That's why I shoot videos, because this is what I do. It's in me. It ain't on me. It's sharing. I believe as we learn, we should teach. So that's what I live by. And that's what I'm always teaching. Every message that I get. Because I know it's going to help somebody. And because I'm trying to be what I wish I had when I was really in the trenches, really in the climb, really trying to build. And from where I'm at, I really don't have more aspirations from this place. I want to continue to do. I'm doing what I want to do for the rest of my life. To help, to teach, to give, to serve. I could live without TV. I really don't want a TV show. I don't want a daytime talk show. That's not productive to me. That don't change lives to me. That doesn't feel purposeful to me. I could do without a daytime TV show. I could do without a reality TV show. I don't need a brick and mortar business, a physical business location. I don't need that. I could do without that. I could do what I'm doing right now for the rest of my life and be 100% content. And so I say that to say, it's somebody that's working on a job that they want to be full-time in their purpose. And that's who I do it for. It's somebody that's stressed and struggling and things are tight, but they know my story. They know that I used to make $20,000 a year. Would get lights cut off, water cut off. They know that we didn't have furniture in our living room. And they've seen how my life has changed by being consistent, being faithful to God and His calling, and to the purpose in my life. And so I want that to be inspiration to the person that's making $20,000 a year right now, to the person that's unemployed right now, to the person that's doing everything right, so it seems, and don't seem to be getting results. I want you to understand I was there. I was there. And I had to do it right for years before my breakthrough. But when it comes, it comes. And a lot come with it. And so you always have to be growing. You always have to be learning. Can't ever get complacent. I'm still learning and growing as we speak. Me and my wife today, we was at the beach for them few hours laying out there. We were talking about areas I need to grow in. Areas our family has to grow in. Areas that we have to change. And how we handle certain situations, how we deal with certain things. And that's what I mean. Never stop growing. And so as I learn and I implement and I see it work, I see it pay off, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you for that purpose alone. Because we all need somebody to warn us of the pitfalls ahead if they a few steps in front of us. If they done did what we're trying to do, if they done gone where we're trying to go, if they've seen what we're trying to see, we need to be warned about what to look out for and what to expect. So hey, this Tony Gaskins, understand that, and understand this. Opinions, everybody got one. I'm not asking for it. I don't need it. So don't feel like you shorting me if you keep it. And if you share it, make sure you sharing it from the right place. And just how you came to my page and you heard this, I go to the pages that I need to hear something. So if you got a YouTube and you sharing a message, and I need your message, I'm gonna be on your YouTube. And I'm gonna be subscribed to your YouTube. And if your message is that important to you, then by all means, let this motivate you and inspire you to start a YouTube, so you can teach on your YouTube instead of in just the comment section, where it could be blocked or deleted by YouTube itself. Sometimes messages go to spam and I don't have nothing to do with it. People wonder why their message ain't showing up, and that's just because YouTube already got things set in place to block certain messages with certain words in it. They trying to clean up their situation. So understand that right there. And get out and do something. You know, don't just sit back and just watch other people live. As you see other people live and give and serve and go and grow, let that inspire you to do what you have to do in your life. Don't just sit on the sidelines and comment on what we see people doing on social media. Get out and get to work. And I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the things that changed my life, is getting out and getting to work. And I stopped watching so much and I started working more. So understand this. I'm not begging for your view. I ain't never begged for a view. I ain't never begged for a follower. I don't even call people followers. You've never seen me ask for a follower. You've never seen me ask for $1. I serve, I do work. And if I'm paid for the work that I do, I'm content with that. I never ask for a donation. I never ask for a handout. I never say hit like and subscribe. That's not in my videos and part of my speech like 90% of YouTubers, because it's not about taking, it's not about receiving. It's about giving, and I know he who sent me is gonna do way more than take care of me. Gonna bless me and bless me abundantly and give me the desires of my heart. I know I'm gonna be taken care of. That's why when you go to my description on my videos, that's why you don't see my Cash App. That's why you don't see my PayPal email address. That's why you don't see a donate button on my description box. That's why you don't see me go live every day to get super chats. Because it's not about taking and begging and receiving. It's about giving from a pure heart, from a pure place in my heart, knowing that I'm going to be blessed and taken care of because of why I'm doing it and who I'm doing it for. So pay close attention to that while you're paying attention to things. Pay attention to the things that actually will help you and tell you something about a person's heart. And the crazy thing about it is we believe so much what we see that when somebody don't even say that, 90% of people probably didn't even realize that. 90% of people probably didn't even realize that a lot of people who do what I do got their Cash App readily available, got their PayPal readily available, but you don't see it on mine. 90% of people probably didn't even realize that. And it's sad that I even have to say that, because I shouldn't. But we get lumped in. Everybody get lumped in and put in the same boat. When you really pay attention, you'll see a difference. You'll see a difference. Because I know who I work for. I know who sent me. And that's why I know I don't have to beg man for a like, for a subscribe, for a follow. Because I'm following God and I know I'm going to be taken care of. So listen, I have no problem when you come into your season that you say, I got to stop watching YouTube and I got to work on my YouTube. I got to stop watching YouTube and I got to grind. I have no problem, because as you graduate to that next level and you got to go into your grind season, it'll come back around where it's a season where you say, okay, I got some time to watch now, because I done grind and I done produce, so I can watch a little bit now. You'll come into your season. The season's gonna change. You're gonna have winter. You're going to have spring. You're going to have summer. And you're going to have fall. I am not mad at you when you enter into your season of doing less watching and less commenting and more working. somebody has to enter. So when you leave one season, somebody else is coming into that same season. And so understand that I am okay being seasoned. If you don't need me in my message for a lifetime, I am not mad about that in the least, because I understand seasons. So, hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.